Thank you, Mr. Barrett. This day means a lot to me because I live with people that have devoted a significant portion of their lives to sports.
Close your mouth.
My aunt Neelam Jaswant Singh Dogra was a discus thrower and competed in the 2000 and 2004 Olympic Games, while my father, Dilbag Singh Dogra, was a professional field hockey player. Through them, I've learned how sports can change our lives. And it's my honor to introduce another athlete who's inspired countless young people, Ms. Tara Whitten. Ms. Tara Whitten has represented Canada in numerous international cycling events, winning Omnium Gold at the 2010 and 2011 World Championships, a bronze medal in team pursuit, and at the 2012 Olympics in London, England. Ms. Whitten is currently training for the 2016 Olympics and finishing her doctorate in neuroscience. In her spare time, she also likes returning to her first love, cross-country skiing, a sport in which she has also competed at the world-class level. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Tara Whitten.
Thank you very much. It's really exciting to be here. I feel kind of lucky to have gone last because I definitely identified with a lot of things from all of our previous speakers. And I like talking to kids around your age because I think I was around your age when I first thought about going to the Olympics. Or maybe I thought about it earlier, but that was when I first said it out loud. I kind of had the courage to say it out loud to my coach when I was setting goals on a picnic bench in Gold Bar Park here in Edmonton. I don't know if any of you have been to Gold Bar. How many? Yeah, and it was really scary to say out loud that that was my goal, to go to the Olympics. But it turns out that was kind of a guiding thing in my life, and it took me 18 years, but I finally accomplished that goal about 14 months ago in London. And so what I want to talk to you guys today is about goal setting, but not just about setting goals, but about planning how you're going to accomplish the goals, because that's an important part. And once you have a plan in place, you can't just blindly follow that plan either. You have to constantly be reassessing whether it's working and whether your goals are still the same goals and whether the plan is still the best plan to get you to your goals. And the other thing about goals is sometimes you don't accomplish them. But the importance of the goal is still there, because the goal is what gives direction to the things you do. The goal is what sort of provides the path for your life. And so I want to tell you a story about 3 goals, 2 that I accomplished and 1 that I didn't, and how they kind of guided my life. So the first goal I already told you was to go to the Olympics. But originally, I was thinking that would happen in cross-country skiing. And I devoted about 13 years of my life to training for cross-country skiing. I moved to Canmore to train full-time when I was about 20. And things were going pretty well for a while. I qualified to represent Canada at Junior World Championships and at Senior World Championships. And I was really enjoying things. But at a certain point, I kind of realized that I wasn't really improving anymore. And I was a bit frustrated, and I didn't know if I should continue or if I should move on to other things in my life, whether I should give up on this goal. And so I decided that I needed to just take a step back. And so I decided not to compete for a year, to come back to Edmonton and go back to school. And during that time, I started riding a bike just to stay in shape. But I was so used to having goals that I thought, while I was riding my bike, I was actually track cycling at the Argyle Velodrome here in Edmonton. And I thought, well, I should make a small goal, so I'll try to make the provincial team to go to nationals this year. And so I trained for a couple months, and we had the provincial championships, and I made the team to go to nationals. So I went to nationals in New Brunswick, New Brunswick. And when I was there, I performed a lot better than I expected, and I started to think, maybe this is how I'm going to get to the Olympics. So right away, I kind of reassessed and decided to take a different path 5 years later, I qualified for the Olympics in London and won a bronze medal in the team pursuit. So, so that's one story. The next story is actually a school-related story. I'm going to move away from sport. So when I was a little bit older than you guys maybe, I read a book called How the Mind Works by Steven Pinker. And I was totally fascinated by this study of the brain. Like, it sounds really geeky, but it was so amazing that our brain could do so much, that because of our brain we can look at the outside world, we can see colors, we can see movement, we can interpret it, we can interact with people. It just was such an incredible thing to me, and I really wanted to study it. So right away I checked out what kinds of programs they had at the University of Alberta, and I decided that I wanted to do a PhD in neuroscience. And the first step seemed to be to do an honors undergraduate degree in neuroscience. So that's what I started out doing, and this was while I was still training for skiing. But the advisor for the neuroscience program didn't really appreciate sports. And he said I had to be full-time student in order to be in the honors neuroscience program. And I was really upset because at the time I was missing about 6 weeks of school in the winter semester to train for for cross country. And so it was really hard for me to take a full course load. And so I decided at that time to stop my studies and to train full-time for skiing and to wait until I was done competing before I pursued my education. But at a certain point, I really needed school again. Sometimes I find when things weren't going as well with my sport, I really needed school just to give me some perspective and to realize that sport wasn't the only thing in life. So I decided I needed to reassess my goal. If my goal was to do a PhD in neuroscience, I didn't necessarily need this honors undergraduate degree. Maybe there was another way I could do it that didn't require me to be full-time. So I went back to school and did just the biological sciences and psychology instead, and now I ended up in a PhD program, and things are going really well. So I realized that there was maybe a different path to my goal. And the final story I want to tell you is a goal that I didn't accomplish. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys know, but I was a favorite to win a medal in my individual event at the Olympics, the Omnium. I was a 2-time world champion in that event, and that was really my main focus. The team pursuit, where we did win the medal, was kind of secondary. And so I put everything I had into that goal. I can't think of anything I could have done that I didn't do. I was thinking about it basically every moment, how I could get better, how I was analyzing the event, analyzing my competitors, trying to figure out what my weaknesses were and what their weaknesses were, and how I could be the best that I could be. And at the Olympics, it was quite an incredible feeling to know that I had done everything I could. And when I look back on it, that's what I remember most, is just being totally in the moment, knowing that I had prepared to be there, and I had done everything I could, and all I could do was live that moment. And as it turns out, I didn't quite achieve my goal. I ended up coming fourth in that event. And it was really hard at the time, because I was so sure going in that I could accomplish my goal. But in the years since the Olympics, when I look back, I have absolutely no regrets. I love the pursuit. And that's really my message, I guess, is that it's the pursuit of the goal that is so rewarding. And so in the end, achieving the goal, whether you achieve it or not, is not the point. The point is having a direction in life, and the goal is what gives you that direction. So I encourage you guys to think about what you're passionate about and to think about what you want to do. and make plans to figure out how you can get there.